Welcome to part 3 of my Bug Fables quest tier list. Last time I said medals because I'm a dummy. Anyways, we're talking about the quests in and after chapters 4 and 5. Now is Eremi's quest, It's Too Hot. The Defiant route is hot, dry, sands everywhere, it's miserable, and Eremi wants some relief from that. What her relief will be depends on what you give her. Depending on your offering, she will give you either 15 berries for a magic ice, 30 berries for shell ointment, or provided you help someone else and receive a certain key item, 50 berries, and a free copy of the Reflection Medal. Doing this quest later does have its advantages, as you can snag a really useful medal for free, in addition to some easy cash. But if you need the Reflection Medal earlier, and you don't mind gaining less berries, you can easily find shell ointment for free in the Honey Factory. Combined with the various means of grinding money in this game, you just have nothing to lose and can just buy the medal from the traveling caravan. Personally, I say this is a quest to do as soon as possible since Reflection is such a good medal. Secondly, Vent's quest, Bandit Hunt. This is a tricky one to judge. Defeating a combined total of 20 thugs, whether they're burglars, thieves, or bandits, will let you freeze resistance. I'll be straight with you. If you ever complete this quest, it'll likely be because you needed to grind and you just so happened to stumble into the requirement for it. Otherwise, I really don't think the reward is worth defeating 20 thugs to get 50% half of protecting against the frozen status. If it was Frostbite, I'd at least be in the situational camp. But the lack of potent items that freeze you upon eating them, combined with just how few enemies in this game can freeze you, makes this a very easy pass all around. Now for Callie's stolen item. She got some silk stolen by some thugs. Return it to her to receive a lore book. Before throwing this in the It Exists pile though, we also receive a beatdown with her taking control of Kabu with her pheromones. Upon defeat, you can pick up the hard mode reward, Heavy Throw. A skill that has V chuck her beamerang at foes so hard, she drops their defense. This skill is also ultimately pretty useless. Really, the most of a reward you get from Callie is the spy data from her and Kabu, which can be really useful in spy cards. Playing the two together will restore 3 HP to your overall health, which is a huge deal. And the fight itself is not difficult anyway. To go on a mini boss raid, you can just swarm Callie with either V or Leif and put Kabu to sleep with a numbnail dart. He's guaranteed to succumb to sleep on your first throw, which means Callie's piloting a puppet with no strings attached. I just don't think this quest is worthwhile, but there are at least some decent spy cards next to work havoc with here. Team Ant needs your help with their quest Explorer Check. Jan and Eri investigate a duo of rogue explorers sent in PC. To properly complete this quest, you'll have to beat them twice. One while they're harassing Amber where they run off after one of them takes enough damage, and one where they are hiding behind the gate south of the Explorers Association. As a boss fight, this quest is a cakewalk to complete. The two have 0 attacks that target your whole party in one hit, meaning Kabu's taunt is super effective here. And since PC can create barricades with her rocks, often Kabu will have nothing better to do anyway. The rewards though are really bad. At least Callie and Kabu are good spy cards. Sen and PC both have bad spy cards effects, Jed and Eri just give you a lore book, and the reward from artists for this fight being done in hard mode is an HP+. Which sounds great, but you already have access to 5 different HP+ medals by now, so you're sure to be feeling diminishing returns off of having so many. I just cannot recommend this quest unless you're either aiming for completion, or you just want to bully them for Bug Fables challenge videos like I regularly do. Up and at Tanjerin, who hums, Tangerin's horn got broken and stolen by some thugs, and we gotta return it. When we do, we're given Mightier Pebble, giving a new skill to Kabu called Boulder Toss in addition to the Whack-A-Worm minigame range. As for the medal itself, it's terrible. Boulder Toss is by far the worst attacking skill in the game. At least V's Heavy Throw can reduce defense and manipulate HP to reach danger more quickly, and even then it's outclassed by Hard Charge. But Boulder Toss does nothing that Understrike can't already do, and on a character worse overall at attacking anyway than either Leif or V. And the Whack-A-Worm minigame is not at all worth using to grind berries. You can get a heart berry for your first time getting at least 25 worms, but that's very unlikely to be worth the trouble. At least the fact that it's a permanent plus 1 HP though, puts this quest above some of the most pointless ones. Butomu comes next with Ore Wanted. Completing this quest involves hiking in the Stream Mountain, reaching the end of the area, grabbing the Crimson Ore, and delivering it to Butomu in Defiant route, and receiving first plating. It can be a wee bit time consuming to get this medal, and well, truth be told, I don't find first plating to be very great. One free hit without taking damage is good for the Cave of Trials, but is otherwise pretty unnecessary for boss fights. I guess regular enemies can be nice to have this medal for, but I prefer not including regular enemies in my judging of these quests. I'd say situational at best, but no higher. Alternatively, you can be like Zasp with the quest Lost Item, which just cuts out the middleman. No backtracking required, no fluff rewards, just a single heart berry to permanently up a bug's HP by 1. It's easy to complete, quick to get the necessary item, and has a good quest to take out as soon as possible. First of the 4 off-board requests that can be completed in chapters 4 and 5 is Elom, who is in search of something. Completing this quest involves using Ice Ring to access a secluded cave. After talking to this isolated mole cricket, you hike the Golden Hills to escort another mole cricket to him. With Texie around, he will give you a lore book. Lame reward, and I often forget this quest even exists. Second is Tarantular, whose quest is Find the Ingredients. After breaking and entering into the Tarantula Witch's Tower, we talk to him about allowing us to leave, but talking to him again afterwards unlocks the quest where you ask for Aphid Dew, Magic Ice, and Squash. The Aphid Dew can be bought from Golden Settlement, Squash is found in the Baghdad Hideout cafeteria after Asophiles is defeated, and Magic Ice can be either dropped from enemies in the Los Sands Castle, or bought in Defiant Route after starting Chapter 5. Give these 3 items to the Tarantula Wizard, and you're bestowed the team skill Frost Relay. This can be a tricky skill to master, hitting a single target up to 12 times, 6 from V and Leif each. If you know well how to exploit this move, it can destroy bosses in record time. Otherwise, it's at best a very situational attack you'll seldom use. You can look into this move and how it works in depth by checking out my Offense Explained video. Beginning Chapter 5 is a quest that should honestly be available in Chapter 4, the Want to Relive Memories quest from the Defiant Route Mayor. Once you try your hand at Whack-A-Worm in Golden Hills, you can hike over to Defiant Route and escort the Mayor there to watch you play the game again. Your reward for hitting at least 20 worms is a key to a house in Defiant Route containing a lore book and a pair of dark cherries. Neither of these rewards are really very good. The dark cherries is at least decent for selling if you don't want them for any recipes, since they're worth 50 berries a pop. But the lore book is whatever. The quest isn't hard to do, but I don't really find it worth doing despite the monetary value, just because of how many methods to grind berries exist. Next up, Leby's My Brother Is Gone quest. Take Leby with you to State Mount Den, rescue her brother, and you get a lore book as your reward. Moving on. Malbee's got something of interest in her quest though. Help her seated at once. She waits for you in the Overseer's room in the Honey Factory and assigns you the task of bashing Mender robots to reset them. After you defeat the Menders, you're rewarded with a Power Exchange medal. The quest itself is very easy as the Menders don't fight back. You can take your time defeating them, and they have some decently funny quotes if you care to check them out. As for the medal reward, Power Exchange is one of the most consistently useful medals around. A flat +1 attack is great in a game with damage numbers this small, and the effect of this can easily be magnified by using skills hit multiple times. The -1 defense is also easily offset by either redirection or bubble shield. And you'll still do more damage on average, since you're bound to find more foes with defense by the time this medal is available. Simple effect, but very worth your time, and it's a quest I definitely would consider doing as soon as possible. Mun's coming at us with the quest, Help Me Get It Back. After confronting some thugs, Mun enlists in some help to retrieve his friend's Leif mask. After taking him along with you, you hunt the thugs down, rough them up, and get your reward back at Mun's house. Your prizes are a Leaf Cloak medal and a modest 20 berries. I made my feelings on Leaf Cloak clear that I don't think this medal is very good, as the extent of its usage is largely outdone by Kabu's taunt. Its advantage of costing 0 TP to use really isn't much of an upgrade, as much as just an alternative expense, as opposed to the 2 MP cost to equip it, and that generally value MP more than TP anyways. For those who don't know, this medal makes it so that if a bug is being targeted by an attack that would hit only them, the game is forced to reroll once, which gives a chance another bug will instead be attacked. For example, a bug in front with Leaf Cloak equipped goes from having a 60% chance of being attacked down to a 36% chance. But bugs who aren't in front have like a 4% chance of being hit instead if this medal is equipped to them. I hear some say this medal is helpful if you want to focus all your efforts on a single bug attacking, and giving the Leaf Cloak to reduce their odds of getting hit isn't a bad strategy on paper to be fair, but I never liked relying on RNG, so this medal really holds no value to me unless I literally cannot use anything better. You're also hogtied to this worthless run who can't even hurt enemies unless they have 0 defense, or you freeze an enemy solid, and even then, you're not going to get any value out of a single point of damage. And since you can't control his attacks, he really just serves to slow fight Zell whenever he's involved. Don't even bother with this one. And Engira's up now with my Mecha Claw. With Kabu's dash through skill, you break through some rocks in the far grasslands and collect the Mecha Claw. Once you deliver it back to Engira, he gives you a copy of the Reflection Medal. Considering this can be gotten for free when he's done as soon as possible, as opposed to Eremi's copy, it's really a no-brainer. This is among the best of the quests. Order for Rizza's quest, Sweeps from Outside. Unlocking this quest requires beating Rizza in a fight. All this quest demands of you is bringing Rizza a nutty cake, and in return you get a crystal berry. It's a very simple and quick quest if you think ahead and bring a nutty cake ahead of time. Easy top tier to be honest. Finally, we have Leif's request. As early as chapter 3 begins, this quest is available, but the quest can only be completed after you defeat the Watcher. Along the way, you learn skills like Bubble Shield and Ice Rain. The latter is an incredibly powerful move that Leif wields that costs a hefty 11 TP, but throws down 4 icicles with consistent damage the entire time. It's incredible. As you venture through Upper Stigmov Lab and make your way to the room containing Zamoth, you challenge this demon in a fight to the finish where Leif for the first returns is paralyzed. Despite this, though, you can quite capably win this fight in a matter of 4 turns where 0 RNG is involved. Otherwise, you're in for a tough fight where Cordyceps possessed enemies can be summoned to help Zamoth in battle, and you're being faced down by strong blows almost every turn. Even then, if you can complete this boss fight, you're given the hard mode medal known as Block Heal. With it equipped, Super Blocks restore 1 HP and cannot be KO'd by otherwise lethal attacks if the last hit is Super Blocked. It's a really powerful medal that is super rewarding for people who have learned how to Super Block well and consistently. Meeting with Leif's family and giving Leif the closure he needs will also unlock the skill Frost Bowling, which is an area of effect attack involving your whole party to do damage to all enemies. Once again, I go more in depth with this move in my Offense Explained video, so I won't take up too much time here. An extremely rewarding quest with some great rewards. It's one of the best and most important quests in the entire game. I see it as a pseudo chapter 8. That's it for this part. Next up should be the finale.